We talk about now the third country, for example, Japan and South Korea. Their relations to the United States is not only, their relations to China is not only political and military, but also economically. And by the same token, they need some kind of trades with China. So Japan and South Korea both host a significant number of U.S. military personnel, but also heavily rely on the Chinese markets for trade. So how are they managing to strike a balance between the military alliances and the economic dependence? Maybe, Bill?
Well, it's not very easy, but certainly I think in the past year or two, we've seen striking moves on the part of South Korea and Japan to strengthen their military relationship because of their fears of China. In the same way also, particularly after President Duterte stepped down in the Philippines has opened up more bases for the U.S. on a rotational basis, U.S. forces to use them. And there's also been more interaction between the Japanese and the Filipinos as well. And so I think these countries, as dependent as they may be on China, they're trying to continue to trade, but at the same time they're trying to build up their military capabilities with allies and ultimately, in a way, depending on the U.S. To strengthen them. And this is something I think the U.S. really welcomes, because in the past it was, for example, the South Koreans were not sharing their intelligence with the Japanese. And now they've reached an agreement to do that after, because of historical bitterness on the part of the Koreans toward the Japanese. So there has been a real improvement, I think, on the part of these allies in forging more of an alliance vis-a-vis China. So this is a positive development. I don't know if there's a real balance, other than that you have to say, as much as the Chinese might want to use trade as a weapon to get what they want from these countries, it's also a weapon that harms China if they don't continue to trade. So, there's a limit to what you can do with trade, particularly because China is one of the countries in the world most dependent on trade exports itself. So it's a two-edged sword.